2 Iowa State Cyclones, number 1 versus Iowa Hawkeyes, number 2, and the score right now is 11-9 after 5 matches in favor of Iowa over Iowa State. Now we're at 197, where number 2 ranked Zach Thompson, in the red for Iowa State, is going against Lee Weber, a senior from Iowa.
Lee Weber, I don't know if he's been in these big Iowa State matches. Tried to hit a fireman's carry. Thompson did a good job. Thompson's low to the ground, and Weber's kind of high to the ground. So it's kind of opposite style of wrestlers here as far as their builds.
Lee Weber, a senior from Gilbertville, Don Bosco, and brother Darrell, national champion for Iowa, another brother act.
Still wrestling for the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. He's in a tough weight, but all the weights are tough when you start getting in there to try to make the Olympic team.
And then Zach Thompson, a junior from Cleveland, Ohio, that famous St. Ed's program, St. Edward's High School in Cleveland, Ohio. A junior and ranked number 2 in the nation, a returning All-American for the Cyclones.
Well, this is one the Cyclones are favored. Controlling the mat well by Thompson. Made Weber look a little bit bad there.
Bobby Douglas, head coach for the Iowa State Cyclones in his 8th year here in Ames after a long and very successful career as the head coach at Arizona State, where he won an NCAA wrestling championship coaching the Sun Devils.
It's kind of interesting there that the referee actually got on Thompson for like controlling the edge and not letting him back in, and when in reality an athlete that gets his opponent to the edge always likes to make him look like they can't get back to the center. Weber's on the edge, looking bad at the edge there. He's got to circle back in. Thompson's doing a good job of keeping Weber's back to the edge, and the referee will be watching that closely.
And the referee you're talking about is Bill Rotes from New Hampton, Iowa, a regular on college wrestling telecasts.
He's been around a long time. I think I know a guy named Mitch Kelly that stepped in and helped me actually for Greg Randall when he was injured. And I think Bill and him, they might want to have words off the mat just about whether there was a call there or not. Have a call.
He's hit a lot of stalling calls tonight, a lot of stalling warnings, and like you said, he's been quick on it, but he's been consistent.
I think he's about ready to do it again. He's looking. He's looking.
So, as you point out, Zach Thompson's doing the right things there. The Iowa State Cyclone getting the attention of the referee, focused on Weber, and Weber just hit with a stall warning by referee Bill Rotes. The next one will cost the Hawkeye a point.
Well, you got to realize these are dual meets. You aren't going to get the same calls at the national tournament or the conference, but that's just kind of the flavor of it to keep things going, because they just don't call very much stalling at the national tournament. And when they do, it's kind of a surprise. You just don't know when they're hitting it.
Well, why is that, Dan?
Because it's the national tournament, and they want it to be decided by wrestling, not so much referee's position call or that type of thing. And even though this is a big event, referees get more active and do make more calls.
We're almost to the end of the first period at 197 pounds. Zach Thompson and Lee Weber, a 0-0 match.
Wow, that's not the way Iowa State wanted it to happen that first period, but I think the history shows Thompson kind of comes on as the match produces deep into it.
Lee Weber has chosen bottom, and he has been warned. Lee Weber, the Hawkeye in black there, choosing bottom to begin the second period. The score is tied 0-0, and the Hawkeye does have a stall warning. It's a caution on this.
Set, I'm coming behind you.
With a Cyclone, I think.
What do you think? We got about 12,000 here?
It'll be interesting to see the numbers. It's just a bigger crowd than many, many years here at Iowa State, and it's very exciting for the sport of wrestling, as is this Cyclone #1 ranked team and #2 ranked Hawkeyes.
Weber's really doing some bopping there. Looks a little bit like the Muhammad Ali shuffle there. Just got to do something off it. Got to go.
Well, you know, Muhammad was right when he said, "I am the greatest," didn't he? He was.
Yeah, he picked USA Today.
Yeah, there was a lot of everybody choosing him as the greatest athlete of all time.
I don't mind you saying it as long as you backed it up. And he backed it up.
He got the last laugh there. That's what I thought when I saw his picture in USA Today. Right now, Zach Thompson would like to get the last laugh for Iowa State and get Iowa State actually going ahead of Iowa for the first time tonight. But it is 1-0 right now in favor of the Hawkeye, Lee Weber, in the second period with just over a minute left. I'm Tim Johnson along with Dan Gable and Jim Gibbons bringing you #1 ranked Iowa State versus #2 ranked Iowa, and there is a takedown attempt by Lee Weber.
Yeah, he's holding the leg though. He's got to pick it up higher. He had a good opportunity right at the beginning, but the longer he holds it, the worse it's going to be. He needs to come around and low. He needs to drag him back to the center first. He needs to go back all the way to the center, all the way. And obviously,
Nice
kick out by Thompson.
Nice job by Zach Thompson.
One green technical violation.
What was that about?
Went into the eyes. Here we go.
Something about eyes. He must have poked in the eyes or something.
Who got the point?
Lee Weber from Iowa got a point, a technical violation. It's 2-0 now. Could be a big point. Zach Thompson needs to keep the pressure on the Iowa State wrestler here to get himself in the scoring column before the third period.
I wasn't watching it. That was a big point there. Now, he has been warned, and Rose will not be afraid to make that call.
I think what he's doing is Rhodes is looking at Zach Thompson for putting his fingers into the eyes of Lee Weber, and he caught him doing it, and he penalized him. End of the second period.
Match.
Here's what caused it. Here's the eye.
Down.
Well,
that was it?
I don't know. And if it was,
I don't think that was it. If they called that it, I think it might not have been it.
I think it was when they went off the mat.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
A little later, because he didn't blow the whistle then. He blew it 30 seconds later, 10 seconds later.
2-1 escape. Zach Thompson for Iowa State. Now he has to score. It's a big match for Iowa State. They need to win this one. They're favored. They've got the second-ranked wrestler in the nation in Zach Thompson in the red. Cyclone is behind 2-1. Lee Weber holding on to what would be a big upset.
Another single. Needs to pick the ankle up and go to the far ankle. Needs to, before he turns. Now he did the same thing. I just don't understand the technical finish there. He goes out of bounds though. Not doing a very good job of coming across, but Thompson's using what I call a limp leg out there to stifle Weber.
Scores 2-1 with just over a minute left in favor of the Hawkeye, Lee Weber over the Cyclone, Zach Thompson. We're in the third period, and Zach Thompson, #2 ranked wrestler at 197. There's Darrell Weber,
national champion,
assistant
95.
coach now. Weber has to watch out for stalling, but Thompson needs to really get after him right now and cause that referee to call it and at least get it to a point where the match is tied.
Thompson needs to do 2 things in a row. There's one. He needs to do another one right in a row.
He needs to get after him.
Because Weber's controlling the tempo there. A stalling call right now would not be justified. He needs to do 2 things in a row. The big 30 seconds for both teams. There's a shot. And he's
tight in on it. He could sit there.
If he picks it up and comes up on the right side, he'd be okay. But if he stays there, it's going to be a stalemate. The referee is looking, and if he lets the leg come facing, he's got to keep working there. They could call him for stalling if he doesn't go for the finish. He has to look like he's going for the finish.
He's doing enough.
Yes.
He's doing enough.
4 seconds. It looks like a huge upset. 4 seconds. I'll tell you what, though, if he backs up, referee better get on it.
Yeah, but Thompson has to do something to make him back up. There. Wow. Big match. Big win for the Iowa Hawkeye. Lee Weber, unranked, beating the second-ranked Zach Thompson 2-1, giving 3 more points to the Hawkeyes, making the score 14-9, Iowa over Iowa State.